Recently, I've been doing lots of portrait drawing challenges and experiments using colored pencils. Well, surprisingly, even if it's quite hard, I enjoy it. Last time, I did a portrait using only primary colors, and then the green base skin tone is also nice. And now, I'm gonna show you a new one, and it is drawing realistic portrait and skin tone using only gray-toned colored pencils. It's going to be very interesting. Hope you watch the entire video. I promise you'll enjoy and you will learn something from this drawing experiment. So I'm gonna start with the black Prismacolor colored pencils, and I'm gonna end with white. So by the way, when you combine black and white, you will still get gray. So yeah, it's still going to be part of the concept. So this is the blocking in of the darker shadows using the black. So on this challenge, a typical colored pencil style that I usually do will still apply. Like I'm going from dark to light, and I still make it layering at the beginning, layer after layer, until I was able to build lots of colors, and then blend it or burnish them towards the end. So again, I'm using Prismacolor Premier colored pencil for this drawing experiment right here. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, on how I'm going to do this and what's going to turn out or how it's going to look, because the challenge here is to make it still look like colored pencil drawing or portrait or skin tone, and not graphite or charcoal drawing. So that's the challenge. So I hope you don't skip with the video, because I will show it with you layer after layer until we reach to that point that it will become a nice gray toned colored pencil portrait or colored pencil skin tone. So for beginners, the idea here is because a lot of beginners using colored pencils have been asking me about how to pick the right colors to use for a portrait. Now, this particular drawing challenge will prove to you that it doesn't matter if the pencils that you use is exactly, or the colors that you combine will exactly be just like your reference photo in terms of the colors or the tonal, not the tonal value, but in terms of the exact color. So even if you use a different set, or like a set that is not typically used for skin tone, like for this particular drawing challenge, which is more on gray tone, so you don't need to stress a lot on picking colors. So this is the espresso. This is the first dark gray that I'm gonna use. So I'm starting from dark to light. So like what I'm saying a while ago, I'm using mainly toned gray colored pencils for this drawing challenge, and so that proves that even if you use a very unlikely combination of colors, you still get a nice, hopefully you will still get a nice skin tone in portrait. So don't stress a lot on being exact copy of your reference photo in terms of color. So here we are building the skin tone layer after layer. You can see that even if these are mostly or all of these pencils are gray toned, but you can still different shade of other colors as well. So like the espresso, this one is like a brownish gray, so it still falls into the gray toned concept of this particular video. So don't skip this video. I hope you watch it entirely. If you skip up to this stage, I hope you can go back, because I'm gonna say different tips, many tips along the way of this portrait. Now this is the cool gray 50%, so it's a lot darker gray, on the darker side of gray also, but it has like a very nice greenish bluish, some tone. I see a tone of green and blue and gray for this particular cool gray 50% pencil. By the way, this is Prismacolor, and the paper that I'm using is what I usually use with Prismacolor, the Strathmore Bristol 300 series smooth surface. Okay, so because I'm gonna be blending or burnishing towards the end, so I don't want to be consuming lots and lots of pencils just to burnish or smoothen the skin tone, because when you use like a rough paper, like a vellum paper, you will need lots of pencils or lots of white to burnish. But here now, this is my I believe this is my third pencil. This is the French gray, so it's a very nice grayish, yellowish, pinkish. I can see a tone of pink here. So this variety of grays or gray toned colored pencils combined together, this is what's going to make it look like a colored pencil drawing and not graphite drawing or not a charcoal drawing. So because that's the goal, because what's the point of doing a portrait, a colored pencil portrait, when you look at it, it will just look like graphite. So the goal is to make it look like a colored pencil drawing. So this is another gray tone gray tone pencil. This is the jade green. So jade green, I researched on this and it has a very large percentage of gray on this pencil. This is like a greenish gray pencil, and it adds up to the look of the portrait. It makes greenish tone, and when combined to other grays, it will look like a very nice monochromatic, low saturated skin tone, which is it looks lovely. Actually, it looks different. As you can see, it a lot different compared to regular colored pencil portrait drawing or skin tone colors, but it looks really nice, really classic in terms of the appeal. So far, I'm not yet blending, by the way, so you can see a little bit of roughness on the skin tone. And now we are adding the grayed lavender. I love this gray tone pencil because it has a very nice subtle purple lavender tone to it that makes the skin tone more realistic right here. And you know, when I layer different colors, lots of layers, it actually becomes very nice and smooth already. But using this French gray, this is a very nice light gray with a very nice cool tone. I'm gonna use it to start blending, especially the dark shadows right here. So I'm blending the dark shadows. I'm not gonna blend the dark shadows with white because it's gonna fade out the tone, but using this French gray, it's gonna blend, but it still prevents the dark shadows from fading out and still preserves the darkness of my dark shadows. This is an exciting experiment. I love it. And now I'm using the white to blend, to smoothen, to burnish, and to make sure that you don't see the tooth of the paper, because that's not gonna look good. So towards the end of your layering process, you blend. Make sure that you flatten out the tooth of the paper. So I'm using the white for last to make sure that everything is fixed, smooth, blended together, all these layers of gray toned pencils. I'm loving it. I don't know about you, but this is exactly how it looks like in person. So this is a very nice drawing experiment that I tried. I don't know if you want to try this. Let me know what you think about this technique, about this idea. Have you tried it? Do you want to try it if you are a colored pencil portrait artist? Because this is cool. This is very nice. Yeah, thank you.